we've been on this earlier than most people. Did Jordan Love improve? Did he regress in 2024? Finally, it's caught national attention because Matt LaFleur came out. They were asking him about it after OTAs. He said, I think there's a narrative out there for whatever reason that he wasn't as productive as the year before. Well, he missed significant time. He missed the better of 3 games. Really, it was Indy, Tennessee. He went out in Jacksonville. Then he went out in Chicago. So, 3 games is a significant amount of time. You're not going to produce as much from a numbers perspective. And also, let's be honest, we've talked about the drops from last year. So LaFleur came out, defends his quarterback a little bit, says there's other circumstances that play into it. Everybody's going to be better, though. Jordan Love caught wind of this, and they asked Jordan Love about it. And he said, what is a step back is what I'd like to ask. You know what I mean? Everybody has different opinions, things like that. You got to block that stuff out. It's all about the goals of the team at the end of the day. I'd say we won more games than we did the year before. That's why I ask people, what is a step back? So,
that's a good point.
So, well, here's the thing.
See, that's annoying.
That annoys me too. And we defend Jordan Love. I think you could go ahead and scour every NFL podcast. I think this is the most pro Jordan Love podcast in the country.
Well, that's a decent point, though, is it not?
No, it's not.
No, we won more games doesn't mean anything.
We won more games does not mean anything.
Especially when multiple of those wins came when you weren't playing.
Yes, especially when he was out for a lot of those games. The question at hand is, did Jordan Love play better? And when you look on the season as a whole, I understand that his numbers, I think on the season, were kind of similar here. But if you really break it down, let's be honest. Packers fans, be honest. You watched Jordan Love at the end of the last season, 2023, and that's sort of where the judgment's coming from. When he ended on that on fire, 18 touchdowns, 1 interceptions over the final 8 games, that's not the standard because that was just insane. But it was a little bit below that was what you were expecting from Jordan Love. And he came out, and I agree that I think it was injury-related for so many of his struggles. But that was not the same guy. It wasn't even close. He was worse when he played. And the easiest way to break it down is look at the division games. 2023, 4-2. 2024, 1-5. 67.2% completion in 2023. 61.6 in 2024. 260 passing yards per game, down to 230. 13 touchdowns and 3 interceptions against the NFC North in 2023. 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions in 2024. Passer rating dropped by 18 points from 105.7 to 88.4. So in those games, those division games, the ones everyone circles every year, significantly worse. And you could have the little asterisk and say, well, they lost 4 of them by 3 points or fewer. They were getting their ass kicked by the Vikings twice. They should have lost to the Bears on the blocked field goal. It was a worse year for Jordan Love. There were other factors, yes, drops, injuries. He did not play as well as he should have, or as well as people were hoping for him to. And I think he will be way better. I just said I think he's an MVP candidate this year. And people got on me for that as well. So you pick your poison. You talk negatively, you get yelled at. You talk positively, oh, you guys talked way too much Jordan Love. But the answer is yes. He regressed last year for a variety of factors.
Well, now he's got the golden boy.
No, he does. He does, and I think he'll be really good. I'm a big Jordan Love believer.
You get it, golden boy?
No, I get it. I get it.
You get it, Ziggy?
Do you think he regressed, Ziggy, last year?
I'm not looking at the wins. I'm looking at the level of play. Yeah. And I think the fundamentals that you wanted to see from Jordan Love didn't regress. Now, obviously, this isn't a film review podcast. We don't have time to go in. We're just not experts enough to go and review every single Jordan Love snap and tell you 20 things about how he played. So you can go and look at people who actually are able to do that and have that ability. All of them say, if you think Jordan Love regressed, you don't know ball.
Well, I just said
the reason for that is simple. Obviously, injuries played a big role. But if you look at how he's actually reading defenses, if you look at how he's placing the ball, if you look at, insofar as he can move, how he's going, if you look at how he played when he's healthy, that Philly team was a juggernaut last year.
Oh, they were awesome. Yeah.
And he took them down to the wire week 1.
Yeah, that was
I don't think
played the closest game they had in the playoffs, except for the Rams.
They
also got blown out in the playoffs.
Yeah, that wasn't a good game. But
was that blowout was not Jordan Love's fault. That blowout was where the refs are going to make the worst call in the history of football.
On the opening kickoff.
Oh no, and give the game to the Eagles.
I don't want me saying that he regressed to make it sound like I don't think he was awful last year. I just thought he wasn't as good. The answer is yes, he was not as good as he was in 2023 because we're looking at 2023 we were looking at the end of the season. Coming into the year, we expected Jordan Love to be better than he was in 2024. So there was some regression there, but I don't think it wasn't a regression where you went, wow, should we change quarterbacks? Like some people in our comments have said, we want Malik. I don't know if that's some of them may be tongue in cheek there, but I don't think this was a like.
I don't think it all is, which I think is hilarious.
That's tongue in cheek.
What tongue in cheek?
Not like
that's a common sense.
No,
I went tongue in cheek.
Oh, Jack did. So I don't think Jordan Love was horrible last year. I just thought he pulled back a little bit.
We also put him on a massive pedestal for having like the best 9-game stretch ever.
Well, he got a $55 million contract for 9 games. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm saying once you get paid, you may get paid, and that's it. Who cares?
No, I don't think that's the case. I think he got injured.
I do not think that's Jordan Love at all.
I think he got injured. But Ziggy, you just said, do you like? If you had to say regressed, didn't regress, improved, you would say in the middle, same exact player?
Yeah, I do not think I am not measuring regression on team success. I think that's a mistake. Wins and losses are not quarterback stats.
Did I not just read the division stats?
Obviously.
Did those division stats? Is that not? He was significantly worse. And
I think if you go and actually watch Jordan Love play football last year, he did not look like a worse football player. He certainly didn't look. I mean, you have to compare it to the whole of his first season, right? He was not as hot as he was the second half. There's no doubt about it. On the whole, I don't think that the second season was a significant regression from the first season.
Maybe I'm being unfair in that I'm mostly
You're being
looking
a stats Andy right now.
You're
looking at the touchdowns and the interceptions and the yards and saying,
no, I'm not.
It went down. He's the worst quarterback.
No, I am not. I am looking at the problem that I'm having here, and I'll acknowledge that's unfair. Is I'm thinking of how I viewed Jordan Love coming into the year, and I'm putting too much emphasis on the final 9 games and not taking into account the start of the 2023 season where he did have some struggles. But that's to me where it felt like a regression because I thought he overcame the problems at the end of 2023. And then it felt like he regressed into some of those mistakes in 2024 again. So that's where I'm saying I think it went 2023, if it's a straight line, right, was down. Then he went way up. And that's where we expected him to be or around that level for 2024. And I thought he came back down. So that's why I'm saying a regression. Maybe on the whole, he's kind of right in that same spot in the middle. But I was expecting MVP performances. Again, I think the injuries, I think the drops, I think a lot of other things went into him not playing as well or not appearing as well statistically. But him personally, he didn't feel as much of a threat as he did at the end of 2023. It was like, oh shit, you're going up against Jordan Love. He's going to rip you apart.
I'm wondering also what kind of, or what percentage of that maybe the pressure and expectations could play a role.
It could. I really do. And it's I sound like a broken record here. I think he was hurt. I think he was really hurt for a lot of the year.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was coming into the year paid to win the Super Bowl, essentially.
Yeah, that's what he was
like
paid to
being
do.
paid to go win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
After having 8 very good games. And when you're playing for a market too, like Green Bay, I mean, it's kind of like the New York Yankees of baseball.
Sort of.
I mean, I think that plays a role a little bit.
Yeah, there's definitely added pressure. But this is where it comes down to what Ziggy was saying. Is like Ziggy saying he as a processor, as accuracy, all that. Ziggy saying he didn't change as much. I thought he wasn't as good throughout the year.
I thought he was a little bit worse as well.
But not striking. Not like holy crap, this like what happened to this guy. It was just I thought he was going to be better.
He also was.
So let us know what you think, Packers fans.
The injuries are hard. You can't downplay those either.
I'll never get over Jordan can't move.
Yeah.
I think was the quote from LaFleur at halftime of the Lions game. And we were on our live. People were saying bench Love needs to go. I was like, he can't move. So an interesting conversation around Jordan Love. He's one of those guys that if we were talking about bounce back players, I think he's certainly in line to have a pretty big year. And the reason, so most people would say Jordan Love is a bounce back candidate, which to me makes it seem like, okay, he probably regressed a bit if he has to bounce back. That's why I think it's like, yes, he did regress a bit. Everyone says, oh, he's a bounce back guy.